Hey, everybody. Good to be with you again this week. Hope that everyone in your family is continuing to stay healthy and safe. With that, we'll go ahead and get started for this week. Alrighty. And last week, we talked about a new group of vowel sounds, the bossy R's. Okay. We're going to continue with our bossy R's this week. Okay. But we're going to add a new one to it. Okay. So, this is what you will need for this video. You'll need some clean paper and you'll need a pencil. Okay, so if you will pause the video and get those things, then join me again and we'll get started. Okay, on your paper, and I'm going to use my board here. You can write a V, which stands for vowel. There we go. And then put an R, a capital R after it, which of course stands for the R. Okay? Now, most of the time, this R is going to be lowercase, but a capital is going to work out better for a picture. Okay? Alrighty, and this is going to be a picture of a bossy R vowel sound. You know from last week, when R comes after that vowel, it turns into a big, bad bully. Okay? So we're going to try to do the meanest face on the vowel. Okay? Some mean looking eyes, nose, and we're going to do a big, scary mouth with those big, jagged teeth coming down and a little top knot. Okay? Now, let me scoot you in a little bit more. Maybe you can see better. Now, don't forget the hands, because you know when R comes after that vowel, it likes to bully, boss, and push that vowel around. Okay, so put the hands out to show that. Okay. Alrighty. Now let's go to the vowel. Well, you know, when R comes after it, it's bossing and bullying it around. So the vowel is not very happy. So we're going to do the face of the vowel next. And we're going to do a big frown and tears coming down. Okay, nobody likes to be bullied, including the vowel. Okay? Alrighty, now underline it together and put BR for bossy R. Okay? So this is a picture of a bossy R vowel sound. When R comes after that vowel, it bosses and bullies it around with its big, loud sound. Okay? And the vowel can't even make its sound. We won't hear it. Look how upset it is. Okay? So we might have two letters, but one sound together, a bossy R. We just hear the sound of an R after that vowel. Okay? Alrighty. Now, let's go ahead and write the bossy R's we know. If we put R after the vowel AR together says R. Okay? Like in the middle of park. We did that one last week. If we put R after the vowel OR together says or, like it does in the middle of fort. We did that one last week, and OR is also the little word or. Now I'm going to scooch back a little bit because this is going to be the new bossy R we're going to add this week. If we put R after the vowel ER together says So box this one in. This is the new bossy R we're going to focus on this week. ER together says Now, when I was in school, my teacher told me to remember this as a robot sound because as robots kind of move and turn around, they go and make that sound. Okay? So this is going to be our focus for the week. The new bossy R, ER. And ER together says like that robot moving around. Okay? So we have R or Now, these sounds are a little bit different, but what is the same is we just hear the sound of an R in each one. Okay? A bossy R. Alrighty. Now, if you would put this paper off to the side, you can return to it and color it in and do a little bit more with it if you would like. But what we're going to do now is we're going to make a picture of a beaver. And then beaver is going to become our keyword to help us remember ER together says like it does at the end of beaver. You know, for our new sounds, we come up with keywords and projects for them to help us remember. So we're going to do the beaver for ER. Okay, so we're going to draw the beaver first. And this is a directed drawing, so hopefully I can make it look like what it's supposed to. But if you would take your pencil on a clean sheet of paper and do a circle, and then do an oval, which is more like an egg shape, okay? And then do another oval. These are going to be the three basic shapes we use to make our beaver, okay? Now, in the circle, which is going to be its head, do a circle inside down at the bottom. In the oval, its body part, do a circle inside down at the bottom. Okay? So far, so good. Now that we have the basic shapes, we can add some details. Let's start with its head and let's do its eyes. And we're going to do just tiny little circles, and then we're going to do larger circles around those. Okay? And then we're going to give just the hint of an eyebrow. Now we're going to do a little, let me see here. Yeah, we're going to do like a little C shape and then circle around it. And that just gives the illusion of an ear. You know, the ears are close to the beaver's head. Okay. Now this will hopefully make it look like more of a beaver. Okay. We're going to do a curve to extend the mouth. And then inside this circle, we're going to make its mouth. So we're going to make like a triangle, a V, then a straight line, and we're going to make another triangle like an upside down V. Okay? Then in that bottom triangle, we're going to do two long rectangles. Okay? And those are going to be the beaver's long teeth. A beaver is a rodent, so all rodents have those long front teeth. So a beaver is a rodent, a rabbit is a rodent, rats and mice are rodents, a squirrel is a rodent. That's a big group of animals. Okay? And they must always be chewing on something, because if they don't, those two front teeth grow too long and it won't be able to eat and survive anymore. Okay? Alrighty, let's finish it up and let's do just some whiskers coming out. Okay? So that kind of finishes up the details for the face. Okay? Now let's come and add some details on its body, like its 4 feet. So we're going to do railroad tracks coming out, and then like a circle. And on that circle, we're going to make 5 little like triangles, like spikes. Okay, pretty cool how just some very basic shapes, if you put those together, you can make almost anything from nature. Okay, alrighty, we're going to do some more railroad tracks, and we're going to do a circle, and we're going to do those same little spiky things. Now, those spikes give the illusion or give the idea that the beaver has claws, which it does, because you know that beaver likes to dig and find all of those woods and sticks it can use to chew on. Okay? Alrighty. Now, we've got its front feet. Now let's do its hind legs here. And we're going to come out with railroad tracks like a rectangle. And we're going to give the illusion of some toenails or claws there. Then we're going to do the next one just a little bit shorter. Okay, and that kind of gives the idea that it's sitting down. Okay. Now for the last thing is we're going to do its tail. And we're going to make some parallel lines straight across from each other. Okay, and then we're going to go the opposite direction and make like a tic-tac-toe board on its tail, because you know that beaver kind of has a special pattern on its tail. And you know the beaver is upset and not very happy when it pounds and smacks that tail against the ground. That's when it's time to get out of the way. Okay. Alrighty. So here is our beaver. Now, to add a little bit more to this, you can add to your picture and put the beaver in its natural habitat. Okay. Because a beaver likes to live in a wooded area along the water. Okay. And it collects all of those sticks and all of that wood, not only to chew and eat, but also to make a home. It makes a big home along the water called a lodge, all made out of wood and sticks. And the beaver is really a pretty smart animal. It works with other beavers, like a family, like a community, to make this big home a lodge. And inside the home, the lodge is kind of like a human home. You might have a place where the babies are, like a nursery. You might have a sleeping room, like a bedroom. Okay, you might have a room where food is stored, like a kitchen. The beaver's a pretty cool, clever little animal. Okay. Alrighty. So you can add some detail to this. Make the beaver in its natural habitat where it actually lives out in the wild along the river in a wooded area. Okay. You can make its lodge. You can color that in brown. You can color the beaver in brown. You can color in the water. And you can just add some more to this. You might have some trees around because you know that beaver loves to chew on the wood. And you might. Well, you don't have to make this, but here's just a little bit more. That beaver sometimes causes problems for a farmer because when it makes this big lodge, it can dam up the rivers and cause some problems with the farmer's field. So farmers do not always like beavers. So if you can, you might put a little farm in the distance here. Okay. Alrighty. But you can add all of that in here in a minute. Let's go ahead and make a record of our learning and let's write our keyword. Beaver, Beaver. So please write that at the top. Okay. Okay. And we made a picture and did a project for a beaver. And now beaver is going to be our keyword to help us remember ER together says like it does at the end of beaver. So box that in. Okay. And this is where we commonly have ER at the end of a word. Okay. Alrighty. Now you can add some, like I said, some extra detail and color to this. And this is where we're going to stop the first video. And our focus is ER together saying like it does at the end of beaver. And we're going to work on that this week.